الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. Inshallah, today we will discuss about al-jam'u bayna as-salatayn fi as-safar, the prayer of the musafir, the traveler, combining. So we'll talk about today combining the prayers when you're traveling. لما كان السفر ظنة المشقة رخص فيه الشارع بعض الرخص في العبادات تيسيرا على عباده ورحمة الله. So that safar, traveling, brings hardship, difficulties. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He legislated rukhas, concessions, in some of the worships, taysiran ala ibadih, as a leniency or to make things easy for His servants. ومن هذه الرخص إباحة الجمع للمسافر. So some of the concession include the permissibility of joining to salah for the traveler الذي ربما أدركه وقت الصلاة وهو جاد في سفره. The reason why combining salah has been legislated is because salah times, the time of salah will come, the time of the prayer will come while you are on the move, you're traveling. فأبيح له أن يجمع بين صلاتي الظهر والعصر في وقت أحدهما وبين صلاتي المغرب والعشاء في وقت أحدهما أيضا. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed that you join Dhuhr and Asr in either of their time. You can delay one salah or you can bring the other one forward. And you can join Maghrib and Isha in either of their time. في وقت أحدهما. You can delay one, you can delay Maghrib all the way to Isha, or you can bring Isha forward and you pray at the same time. You pray the two salah at the same time. وهذا كله من سماحة الشريعة المحمدية ويسرها وهو فضل من الله ولم لئلا يجعل علينا في الدين من حرج. So Allah in many ayats, He said, this religion, there is no haraj, there is no difficulty. Whenever there is difficulty, He removes the difficulty. He makes the rules flexible, easy. And this is one of the beauties of Islam. So the hadith, عن عبد الله بن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يجمع بين صلاة الظهر والعصر إذا كان على ظهر سير. So he said, the Prophet ﷺ used to join Asr with Dhuhr when he is on the move, when he is traveling. ويجمع بين المغرب والعشاء, and he will join Maghrib and Isha when he is traveling. So this was the عادة, the custom of the Prophet ﷺ. كان هذا من عادة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. It was the habit of the Prophet ﷺ to join prayers while he is traveling. Now the ulama, the scholars, they differed on the hukum, the ruling of joining the prayers. Majority of the ulama, the scholars, including Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, Imam Ahmad, the Sahaba, majority of the Sahaba, they said جواز الجمع تقديما أو تأخيرا, that it is allowed to join prayers, either you delay one or you bring the other one forward, it is allowed. Imam Abu Hanifa is the only one who said عدم جواز الجمع إلا في عرفة ومزدلفة. So he said it is not allowed to join prayers except in Arafah or Muzdalifah when you're doing Hajj. When you're doing Hajj, you can join and combine prayers, but outside Hajj, Imam Abu Hanifa, he will not allow joining prayers. He said, إِلَّا فِي عَرَفَ وَمُزْدَلِفَةٍ لِلنُّسُكِ لَا لِلسَّفَرِ. For the traveler, you can't combine the prayers. But the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ is that whenever he travels, he will join and shorten the prayers. He will join the salawat. So these are two hukum. One is called qasr. Qasr is to shorten the salah, which is the next topic, and joining the salah. Now, joining the prayer is not only for the traveler, it's not only for musafir. So you can join two salawat, you can pray them at the same time for other reasons, like if there is rain. When there is rain, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to combine the prayers. جمع بين المغرب والعشاء في ليلة مطرة. So in one of the night there was heavy rain, and then he combined the prayers, he combined the salah. And also when there's snow, when there's flood, when there's anytime there's difficulty, he will combine the prayers. And also when someone is sick, when you are ill, when you are in hospital bed, when you have cast, or when you have plaster, when you can't make wudu, most of the times when you are bedridden, you can combine the prayers, you join the salawat. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ibn Abbas said, جمع بين الظهر والعصر والمغرب والعشاء من غير خوف ولا مطر. So he was asked why. He said the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam joined Dhuhr and Asr in Medina, Maghrib and Isha, without any fear and without any rain. So when he was asked, he said that the Prophet ﷺ wanted to remove hardship from his ummah. So when they are sick, when they are facing hardship, difficulty in their life, they combine the salah. So the ulama, they said this also applies when you have exam, when you have national exam, once in a lifetime exam, when you have qualifying test, when you have admission test, when the exam takes 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and they will not allow you. So this is haraj, that's hardship, and in that situation you combine the salah, you delay one or you bring one forward. So when you have exams, that's only once it happens, once in a blue moon, then you join the prayers. And when you have when you're sick, and when you have something, the doctors, for example, who are doing surgery, or the patient who is going to go through surgery, he can join the prayers also, because surgery normally it takes long hours, 8 hours, 7 hours, 6 hours, so you can combine the salah. Also, when the safar, the traveling that we're talking about, it should be a traveling that is allowed, mubah. So someone who is traveling for ma'siyah, for a sin, it is not allowed for him to combine the prayers. Now the ulama, they have disagreed, what is the distance? The distance that you can, what is the distance? And how long you can join the prayers? So they differ on the distance. Some of them, they say 80 kilometers or more, or 48 miles or more. So whether you're traveling by walking, on a donkey, driving, so when you have 80 kilometers, so Ibn Abbas said, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he will shorten his prayer or combine the salah when he is traveling to Usfan, Ta'if, Jeddah. So when they looked at the distance between Ta'if and Makkah, is around 80 to 90. Usfan is towards Medina. So they said the distance should be around that length, 80 kilometers. Other ulama, they said the distance should be defined by the local culture, the local customs. So whenever we consider musafir or safar, then it becomes the distance. Because some cities, they expand. So the city, they expand. So London and Birmingham, they can be same city after some times. Or now if you go to Mecca and Jeddah, it's like 20 minutes driving. At that time, it was a whole day traveling. But now, the people of Jeddah, they work in Mecca. Those who are in Mecca, they go work in the morning and come back in the evening. They don't consider themselves as musafir. So they say traveling should be defined by the local customs, what they consider as safar. So if you're going to Jeddah, or if you're going from Jeddah to Mecca, the local people, they don't take their luggage. They don't say we are musafirun, that we are traveling. So some of the Sahaba, Imam Ibn Hazm, Imam Ibn Taymiyyah, they said that traveling should be decided by the culture, because things change, lifestyle change, the method of traveling change. Now you take a train from Mecca to Medina, just less than 1 hour, around 1 hour. At the time of the Prophet ﷺ, it used to be 9 days, almost 500 kilometers. So now you have bullet trains, and it's easy to travel. So there are people who come from outside London, and they work in this city, and they go back. So either if you take any of these opinions, then inshallah when you're traveling outside your city, you know the distance. It should be minimum 80. Or if you follow the other opinion, if you don't take your luggage and you're working outside your city and you're coming back, then you should not shorten the prayer. But Jamhurul Ulama, majority of the scholars, they say 80 kilometers or more. If you're traveling, then you can join your salah and you can combine your prayers. How long you can combine and join and shorten your prayer? So they differed on this. Some ulama, they said, if you travel and you arrive at your destination and you know you will stay more than 4 days, then you should not join your prayer and you should not shorten your prayer. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he stayed in Mecca for few days and he knew it was fixed. He knew when he will go back, so he will complete the prayer. But when he was in Tabuk, he didn't know how long he will stay in Tabuk. So he was waiting for the Romans, the Roman Empire, the army to attack him, and he camped in Tabuk for 20 days and he was joining the prayers, shortening the salah. So they said, if you don't know how long you're going to stay, you are entitled to join the prayer and to shorten the salah. But if you know when you're going to come back, then anything more than 4 days, you should not combine the prayer. If you're going to stay more than 4 days and you know when you're going back. So they said 4 days should be the maximum, unless you don't know when you're returning. If you know when you're returning, then you should not combine. Some ulama, like Imam Malik said, you can only combine your salah when you're on the move, when you are traveling, when you are moving. But once you arrive, you are in a hotel, then you should not combine. Pray each salah on time. Shortening is okay, but he said, don't combine unless you are on the move. The other ulama, they said, no, 4 days you are entitled to combine your prayers. So there's jama' and there's qasr. Qasr, you can continue doing qasr, but jama', because the salah has to be prayed within the time. So Imam Malik says you should pray salah on time, but you can do qasr. Now if you are praying behind a muqim, so you go to Birmingham and you pray in the masjid, you are musafir, you are a traveler. But the imam is a local imam, is a resident imam. So when you're praying behind an imam who is residing, who is not traveling, you have to pray the way they pray. Even if you catch up with 2 rak'ah. So Dhuhr, they are praying Dhuhr and you join them in the last 2 rak'ah, you must pray full salah. Because Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِنَّمَا جُعْلَ الْإِمَامُ لِيُتَمَّ بِهِ. The Imam has to be followed. So if you join them in the last 2 rak'ah, you complete your prayer. You finish your salah. But if you are leading the salah, if the traveler is leading the salah, you tell them that you are a musafir. You pray 2 rak'ah, you make the salam, so they finish their prayer. They finish their salah. Also, it's good to remember that musafir, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he travels, he will not join the prayer or shorten the prayer in his hometown, in his home city, in his neighborhood. So you leave your city, you take your luggage, you move. When you're on the move, that's the time you can join, you can shorten the prayer. So some people, they don't know, they think once you make the intention, you're about to go, then you pray Dhuhr and Asr together and you're flying in the afternoon. So this is wrong. You must leave your city, your hometown, your village, and you are musafir. As-safar means al-khuruj. You get out. Khuruj. So once you get out of your city and you have your luggage, that is the time you start praying salah and combining the prayers. So that is the main things that we should remember when you are traveling. Now when you're traveling, the sunnah prayers, you should not pray them except the witr and the sunnah before fajr. So there should be no sunnah before dhuhr, no sunnah after maghrib, no sunnah after isha, even qiyamul layl. But you should stick to the witr and the 2 sunnah before fajr. These are the only ones Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to pray. And also it's very important to remember that Salatul Fajr, you cannot combine with any Salah. Fajr, you must pray on time before sunrise. And also Salatul Fajr and Maghrib, you cannot shorten them. So it is only the prayer that has 4 rak'ah that you can shorten and you can join. Maghrib you can join with Isha, but you must pray 3 rak'ah of Maghrib, 2 rak'ah of Fajr. You cannot shorten them. And finally, from this we understand, brothers, as you can see, that Salah is the most important thing in our life. Even when you're traveling, when you're sick, when you fear for your life, as we're going to see, there's Salatul Khawf, the Salah of fear. When you are fearing for your life, when you're traveling, when you're sick, when you're doing anything, Salah has to be there. There is flexibility, there is leniency, but you must pray. You must do your Salah. So how about when you are healthy, when you have free time, when you are in your city, when you are not sick? If you miss your prayer, what do you think will happen? If Musafir has no excuse, if someone who is in a war has no excuse, if someone who has exam has no excuse, what about the people who have free time and they are with their families, they are in their cities, they're driving around and they delay their prayer? What do you think will happen to them? So Allah said subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. Waylun is punishment. The worst type of punishment is for those who delay their salah, those who are careless about their salah. Waylun lahum, Allah said. Waylun lahum. So we have to remind ourselves the importance of salah. Allah said, وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. Worship your Lord until yaqeen comes to you, death comes to you. Even when you're traveling, you must stick to your prayer. You must stick to your salah. You should die in your salah. When you're on your deathbed, terminal cancer, when you cannot make wudu, when you can't move your hand, your legs, you must pray your salah. But there's leniency, there's ease. But salah cannot be skipped. You cannot drop it. It cannot be taken away. So this shows the importance of salah. So inshallah tomorrow we're going to see the rules of shortening the prayer, qasru salah. Jazakumullah khair. If you have any questions, inshallah.
If you are if you are traveling abroad,
Yeah.
for instance, then is a Maghrib time.
Yes.
You know that you will be on the plane or somewhere, then you're going to miss your Isha. Can you combine or shorten your Isha prayer?
Yeah, once you leave your house, you take your luggage, you are at the airport. Yes, you can.
If you're living in Hounslow,
Yeah.
the airport is very local to us, we're still moving.
So the ulama, they said, if the airport and the city, they join, they are adjacent, then you should not do it unless you're worried about the flight. The time of the flight is long hours. So by the time you arrive, the Isha time has gone. For example, you travel into Far East, to Australia, then at that time you would might. It's better to do it. But if you're traveling to Dubai, to Middle East, it's a 7 hours flight. So yeah.
So we can join them, but we cannot make qasr.
You should make qasr in your hometown, yes. If for example you're traveling midday and you will be arriving before sunset, so it's better to wait until you arrive. You do qasr and then join. But if that's like Heathrow Airport now is part of the city, so you are not entitled to start, to enjoy the concession unless you leave your hometown, the buildings, and there is a countryside. So the countryside, now there's no countryside, there's no how to say this. So Heathrow, the buildings are joined together. So in that situation, you shouldn't start joining or shortening. But if the time of the flight, the length of that is that you're going to arrive after sunset, then in that situation you should combine each salah with full rak'ah.
Full.
Yeah. But if you're traveling short distance, like 5 hours travel, and you're going to arrive, you always check your time, arrival time. If it's after sunset, so you're going to miss Dhuhr and Asr while you're in the flight.
Now I was talking about Uncle's example when he was
Yeah.
speaking about Maghrib.
Yeah.
So Maghrib, its current time is Maghrib. We have entered Maghrib.
Yeah.
We do Isha because we're going to miss Isha on the flight.
Yeah.
It's long enough and we're going to reach around Fajr time.
Yeah, in that case you should pray in the airport. In the airport, yeah, at the airport.
Yeah, but brother, they need that rules because a long time ago it used to be very, very hardship. But now, for example, if I go to Egypt, it takes
Yeah.
5 hours.
Yeah.
I arrive, why should I shorten my prayer? Or I've never done that. I'd rather have full prayer because I've never had any hardship.
It's a sunnah. Imam Abu Hanifa, he said it's wajib to shorten the prayer because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam always when he travels, he will shorten the salah.
Yeah, but the travel on the camel and driving.
Yeah, it's not about that.
Long distance.
No, it's not about that. It is the rule. The rule is, Aisha, she said, the prayer at the beginning used to be 2 rak'ah. Dhuhr used to be 2. When he arrived in Medina, it was made 4. And then the Safar, Salatul Safar, it remains the same. So whenever you travel, you should, the best thing is to shorten the prayer because you are following the Sunnah.
When I arrive.
This is the fact is that
As long as you're traveling. When you arrive, if it's Egypt, if it's where you live, your family lives, and you are not Musafir anymore, then you are not Musafir.
But when
Yeah.
you arrive, if you left Heathrow Airport, you arrive to Cairo,
Yeah.
you start to shorten your prayer?
Yeah, if the airport is outside the city, you can.
this is the
And you are Musafir. Unless you have a wife there, a family there, children
Is it
there.
compulsory? I have to shorten.
It's not compulsory, except Imam Abu Hanifa, he said it's wajib. Because Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he used to do it.
It's a concession.
It's a concession. Imam Abu Hanifa said it's wajib, it's obligatory. You should.
But I see people sometimes at Heathrow Airport before they go on the plane, they shorten the prayer, like Dhuhr, Asr.
It depends on the distance they're traveling. Because if you're traveling to Dubai, to Jeddah, it's 7 hours flight. And you might arrive after Maghrib. So it's better to do it at the airport.
I think you should think in that way. Allah has given us a gift,
Yes.
and we should accept that gift.
That's hadith actually.
We should not neglect it.
Yeah, إن الله, you said إذا رخص رخصة فيحب أن يؤتى رخصه كما يحب أن يؤتى عزائمه. Allah loves when He gives you concession, you take it. Just like He loves al-azima, when He gives command, you should obey his command. When he gives you gift, you should enjoy the gift.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how about going to, because sometimes I go to Barcelona and I stay 2-3 months. So am I still traveling or is it my second home?
If you know when you're going to come back, your ticket is fixed, you know you're going to come back, it's better to not join. You can shorten, but don't join. Pray Salah on time.
So,
But if you don't know, when you travel, when you're coming back,
I know when I'm coming back.
yeah, if you know you're coming back, then no jama'. You shouldn't do jama'.
But it's just normal prayer.
Normal, you can shorten, but
For
don't
how
do
long,
jama'.
sorry?
Huh?
For how long you can shorten that?
As long as
Sheikh, is it not 4 days?
the majority of the ulama said more than 4 days, you should don't do jama'. But the qasr is different.
Yeah.
So jama' you shouldn't do, because jama' you
The kasr, for how long you can do?
some ulama they said even 2 years. Like Anas bin Malik, when he was in jihad in the frontiers in Armenia, in Azerbaijan, for 2 years he was doing qasr.
Yeah.
Many Sahaba, yeah.
But they didn't know when they're coming back, right?
They knew, the front lines they knew. Because they have to replace some of the units. So the jama', because you're not doing salah on time, more than 4 days you shouldn't do jama'. You shouldn't do for jama'.
Can you do sunnah as well?
Huh?
Can you do sunnah as well?
You can do, but the Prophet ﷺ, when he is musafir, he will not do sunnah.
But if you're going to stay,
To make life easy.
if you're going to stay for a long time,
Yeah, you should. You can do sunnah. But Nabi ﷺ, he stayed in Tabuk for 20 days. He was just camping there. Camping. In military camp. So he was not doing sunnah. Yeah.
Sheikh, I have a question. Like, for example, I'm traveling from now to the Leeds,
Yeah.
4 hours.
Yeah.
I delayed my Maghrib to the Isha Salah. I joined the Imam Isha Salah
Yes.
from the beginning.
Yes.
But what I should do now? Shall I pray with him 3 rak'ah and do Salam, or pray Isha, or
Or when you arrive
yes,
in
now, like
Leeds.
for example, I arrive Leeds
Yeah.
for Isha Salah. The Imam is now that Iqamah starting.
Yeah.
We're going to
They
pray Isha Salah.
Yes, yes, yes.
For me, I need to pray do Maghrib first.
Yes.
Shall I join them?
So Imam Shafi'i, his madhab is, you pray with the intention of Maghrib. So when they finish 3 rak'ah,
You do Salam.
you two options. You either sit at Tahiyyat and do Salam, or you remain in the Tahiyyat and you wait for the Imam to finish the 4th rak'ah. Then you make Salam with him. Or the 3rd rak'ah, you just do Salam and then join them in the 4th rak'ah for Isha. So Imam Shafi'i both ways. Yeah, Imam both ways.
It is really confusing because
Yeah.
we got to follow our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi
Yes, yes.
wasallam. And Ashafi, Maliki, Hanbali, whom we are going to follow.
Yes.
You'll be confused, really confused.
It's not big difference. It's just because the sunnah is the ulama they make ijtihad in understanding.
Yeah.
So it maybe this case didn't happen at the time of the Prophet ﷺ. He didn't specify. So if someone is praying Maghrib, the Imam is praying Isha, what to do? So they disagreed. Some ulama they said just pray Isha. Tartib is no wajib. The sequence of the salah is no wajib.
Like, who's that? Sorry.
Yeah.
Shall I join him and do my Isha? Then I
Yeah, some ulama they say different intention. You cannot have different intention from the imam. So in that case, the tartib, the sequencing of the salah is not, the order is not wajib. Join Isha, and then when they finish, do Maghrib after. But Imam Shafi'i says no. So you understand the reason why we have these issues is because there was no case happen at that time. So they did ijtihad. It's ijtihad.
So one more question, okay?
Yeah.
So I arrive to stay for say a month.
Yeah.
So and also the mosque is far away from where I live. So
Yeah.
I'm going to pray at home.
Yeah.
Then what? I pray Fajr 2 rak'ah, Dhuhr 2 rak'ah or 4 rak'ah?
2 rak'ah
2
dhuhr.
rak'ah Dhuhr.
But it should be, if you're staying more than 4 days,
Yeah.
you shouldn't combine the salah. You should not. Yeah.
When you
Pray
say
each salah on time.
Yeah. Like
It's salah.
2 rak'ah, Asr 2 rak'ah.
Dhuhr 2 rak'ah salam. If you joining means you make iqamah between them. You pray dhuhr 2 rak'ah.
Yeah.
If you want to join, you stand up, make the iqamah, then asr 2 rak'ah.
But same time?
if you're joining. But more than 4 days, you shouldn't join.
Okay, more than 4 days. So I pray Dhuhr.
2 rak'ah, yes. Yes.
Asr 2 rak'ah on
Yeah,
time.
yes.
And Maghrib 3
3
rak'ah on
rak'ah,
time,
Isha.
and Isha 2 rak'ah.
Yes, yes.
While I'm traveling.
While you're traveling, yes.
But I find that, but where is the hardship here? I mean, I can't see any hardship.
It's the ruqsa. It's ruqsa. If you want to take it, it's okay. It's ruqsa. Ruqsa is a gift from
I
Allah.
thought it was
Yeah.
a long time ago having.
It's same thing with fasting. If you're traveling, there's no hardship. You can take the ruqsa. Enjoy, eat, drink, and then you have a whole year to make it up.
Yeah, but nowadays when you travel,
Yeah, it's easier.
it's so easy.
Yeah,
for
to
you
travel,
break
yes.
a kid, you know?
Yeah, it's not wajib,
so
yeah.
easy. Why should
It's-
you break your fast because
yeah.
you are sitting on the plane going wherever? you
Yeah,
are?
yeah.
So there's no hardship.
Yeah, it's
That's what
ruqsa.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
As
it's
they
ruqsa.
say, it's a gift from Allah.
Yeah.
Accept that gift.
No, you don't have to. It's a choice. You just. But it's better to accept. It's good to accept the gift of Allah.
There was a verse in Quran, it's like, إِنَّ الصَّلَاةَ كَانَتْ
مؤمنين كتابا موقوتا. Yes.
So combining those, this one from the
Yeah. Yeah.
and this verse is also there.
Yeah, this verse, because Allah gives you a concession. So when you are on the move, when you're traveling, or when you're sick, or when there's rain, when you have exam, it's allowed.
What is the meaning of the ayah?
Allah, the ayah says Allah has prescribed the timing of each salah on the believer, fixed time, the timetable we have. So you stick to the timetable. But when there's exemption, so Allah is the one who is legislating. He made the exemption.
The Prophet did it himself.
Yeah, Prophet is, and Allah said, إن خفتم أن يفتن, you know, وإذا ضربتم في الأرض فليس عليكم جناح أن تقصروا قصر من الصلاة.
When you are praying behind the Imam and you are doing qasr,
Yeah. Whenever you're praying behind an Imam, you cannot do qasr.
Now they say do niyyah for 2
Yeah.
and pray 4.
No.
Ah,
When you're traveling.
When you are on travel,
when you're traveling. Because for them qasr is wajib.
qasr is wajib.
Yeah.
Do niyyah for 2 for you.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Because qasr is wajib in Hanaf madhab. Yeah.
It's sunnah. The musafir should do salah, imam lead the salah or the muqim.
Yeah, if they allow, the musafir should lead the prayer. So he finished 2 rak'ah and they complete. If they allow, most of them they will not allow.
And it's going to be minimum 80 kilometers. Yeah?
Minimum 80 kilometers. If you follow the madhab of 4 imams, 80 kilometers,
Less
48.
than that, you still at home.
Less than that, you are still at home. 50 kilometers. So if you go to outside London, it's almost 50 kilometers.
For example, if I go to Cambridge,
East London, Tooting is, yeah.
Cambridge is about 25 minutes drive.
Yeah.
So that is not 80.
No, that's no suffer.
Exactly. That is, we should be still
Yeah,
at home.
yeah.
Oxford, if you go Oxford, you do
80, more than 80.
48 miles.
48 miles, yeah, that's 80.
Yeah.
One question.
Yes.
You know, the month of Ramadan,
Yeah,
when you are traveling about Taraweeh,
yeah.
mean you just have to read 2 Rakat Isha or you can read both Taraweeh?
When you are in Ramadan. No, it's your choice. If you want to do Tarawih prayer, you can do it.
You can read.
Yeah, yes, because Ramadan you get more ajr. But if you want to stick to the Sunnah,
Only 2 Rakat.
you only 2 rak'ah and then witr. The witr, yeah.
Jazakallah Shaykh.
Barakallah. Allah bless you.
Jazakum.